Hi, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to talk to you about my best books of 2025 so far. I have 5 books to talk about, and I think they're all absolutely brilliant. I've given them all 5 stars, and I would highly recommend every single one. So I have 2 contemporary novels, 1 historical fiction novel, 1 science fiction, and 1 thriller. So let's get straight into the books. In 5th place, I have The Death of Us by Abigail Dean. This is a thriller novel, and this was genuinely very scary. This actually gave me nightmares. So we follow a married couple in both the past and the present. In the past, they were the victims of a home invasion, and in the present, the man has been identified and they will be attending his court trial. And this was, as I said, very, very scary. And also, I was so connected to these characters that this book also made me cry. And I have to say, I've never read a book that has given me both nightmares and brought me to actual tears. So it really covered a lot of ground, and I was genuinely very connected to these characters. It was a very emotional story. It is definitely a thriller with a lot of heart, and at the same time, it's genuinely terrifying too. And I have to say, I find home invasions to be a very, very scary subject, and it's handled very well in this. And we really follow the terror of these 2 people as they try to rebuild their lives after this horrific, awful thing has happened to them. And it's written very well. It's very, very gripping, and I just wanted to keep turning those pages and find out what had actually happened to them. In 4th place, I have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I absolutely love the Hunger Games trilogy. It's one of the book series that got me into reading in the first place, and I have read them over and over and over again over the years, and they are filled with so much nostalgia for me. So I was very excited to read this, and I absolutely loved it. So we're following Haymitch in this book, and he is the mentor of Katniss and Peter in the original Hunger Games trilogy, and in this one we are following him on his Hunger Games, which is the 50th annual Hunger Games. I thought this book had brilliant character development in terms of Haymitch. We found out so much about his life and his mother, his brother, and about the girl he is in love with. And there's brilliant character development in terms of lots of other characters too. Beatty, Plutarch Heavensby, Mags. It was just so good. And this book was so gripping, it was so exciting and so engaging. And even though this is a prequel and I knew everything that was going to happen, I just absolutely loved it, and I found it genuinely so gripping, and it was brilliant. Definitely lives up to the original Hunger Games trilogy for me. In 3rd place, I have Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kwong. Now, this is a very, very popular book, and I was wondering if it was going to live up to the hype, and it absolutely does. We follow 2 authors. One of them is very successful, and the other one has kind of fallen into obscurity. The one who is very successful has just found out that one of her books is going to be adapted by Netflix, so they're out celebrating this brilliant news. Sadly, that very same night, she chokes and dies on a pancake, and her so-called friend steals her manuscript and publishes it as her own. Now, this really is the definition of following a very, very morally grey character and just trying to see all the ways she is trying to justify what she does during this story. And I have to say, this was so gripping. It is very well written. It was so easy to keep flicking those pages. I just wanted to know what's going to happen next. What is she possibly going to do next? How is she going to continue trying to get out of this situation she's put herself in? And it was just so well written, and it was so much fun to read this book. That is the word I would describe. This was a very, very fun read, very gripping, and just so easy to keep turning those pages. In 2nd place, I have Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. So this is set in Iceland in the year 1829, and we are following a woman who has been accused and convicted of killing 2 people, and she has been sentenced to death. Now, this is based on real events. This is the last person to have been executed in Iceland. but we don't actually know very much about the woman herself. All we know is her name, that she was a servant, and the identities of the people she killed. So the story itself is a work of fiction. And I have to say, this was written so beautifully. I love the way Hannah Kent writes. She is such a descriptive author. And I was so emotionally connected to these characters. And I thought the character development was brilliant. The different character dynamics was brilliant. And I really love how much research she has done. There is so much research underpinning this story about Iceland itself, about Iceland in the 1800s, about this case in particular. And I just really enjoyed this. It was written absolutely beautifully. I was so engaged and I was so connected to these characters. And I just wanted to know what was going to happen to this main character. Ultimately, we already know, and we follow her on the days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds before her execution, and it was so hard-hitting. It was such an emotive read, and it was just absolutely brilliant. So in first place, I have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. So in this story, we are following three sisters. Their fourth sister died a year ago, and we're following them try to come to terms with this devastating loss. This is a story which really explores sibling relationships, sister relationships, families, grief, loss, addiction, love, and I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy stories about grief, and I thought it was explored really well in this story. We follow each sister's perspective, so you really get to know all of the characters on a personal level, and this was a very emotionally charged novel. I enjoyed all of the characters in this. I felt very connected to all of them. It was written very well. And it was just a very emotional read. I felt so connected to these characters. It did make me cry. And I always think if a book can make me cry and make me feel that connected, then it's a brilliant book. And I have to give it 5 stars. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So these are my best books of 2025 so far. If you have read any of them, I would love to know what you thought of them down in the comments below. And if I have convinced you to read any of them, definitely let me know that too. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to hear more of me talking about books. And definitely let me know down in the comments, what are your best books of 2025? I would love to know more, and I would love to read some of them. All right, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.